Every time that there's something good, I text Connie. Sabihin ko, I just wanted to say congratulations. Ang ganda talaga ng pagpapalaki mo sa anak mo. And I really hope he succeeds.
She may not be in a position right now, but ang track record, siya yung, eto tabi-tabi na lang sa lahat ng mga artistang nagpolitiko. Pero kumbaga, siya yung face ng isang celebrity na nag-artista na hindi nadungisan.
The Pod Network Entertainment.
Hello and welcome to a dangerous edition of Best 10 Bets. I am Butch Francisco, quaking in my boots, while my partner here is confidently courageous with a heart for everyone except for me. Leo Katigbak.
Thank you very much, Butch. Bakit? Ano bang nasa listahan mo at parang takot na takot ka? Parang,
kasi naman,
kasi yung akin naman, madali ko nagawa yung listahan
kasi naman,
ko. Para safe naman yung listahan
may
ko.
top 10 celebrities who became politicians. Pero syempre, by the way, si Leo May, yung sa akin,
I either know them or know of them. My interactions with them have been, say, maybe more on the positive side. So, that is how I came up with the list. Kasi sa totoo naman lahat ng politician,
okay, ganito.
Pinipintasan naman.
May I.
Okay,
ganito. Hindi ang pag-uusapan kasi namin, yung mga celebrities turned politicians. Pero kaya lang kasi...
may caveat yun eh.
Yun. Ito kasi, kapag let's say, ang isang politiko, para yung palayok na pinatong mo sa kalan, no way na hindi ka maulingan. Kahit gaano ka kalinis, ito na yung sistema ng gobyerno natin. Unfortunately.
Totoo naman.
Yung iba, let's say, kahit na gusto mong magpakalinis, pero pag nilabanan ng mga sistema, kawawa ka.
Tama. The moment na may gawin ka o may policy ka na hindi gusto ng ibang tao, mababatikos ka na rin naman eh. Kumbaga, whether ikaw si mayor o si konsehal and whatever, pero kung halimbawa, kumikickback yung mga tao sa baba mo, ang sasabihin ng mga tao, ay kasi si ganyan.
Hindi lang yun, Leo, ang problema. Okay, let's say, kumickback sa ganon. Yung pot na yun, pot money, aakyatin nila sa taas yan. At kapag yan, pinabalik mo, masama ka sa kanila. At ikaw, babalik na rin nila, ikaw masisiraan.
I'm pretty sure we will get criticized for our lists. But yung sa akin, I have reasons why they're on my list. And people may agree or disagree with it. But that's it eh.
Hindi, ito lang. To be fair, let's say, mag-enumerate kami ng mga politiko and then meron kayo narinig na alingas-ngas. You don't agree with our list o baka may nakalimutan kami. Please comment down below. Magsumbong kay Kuya Leo.
Ba't sa akin? Ba't hindi sa'yo?
Hindi ako nagbabasa ng comments. Sa aking top 10 list ng mga celebrities who turned politicians na nakapag-maintain ng good image pa rin naman.
Pero lang ang iniisip ko lang, I'm sure yung mga kaibigan mong politician nanonood ng to. Tapos magsasabi sila na, bakit wala ako sa listahan ni Butch?
Well, kung wala kayo sa listahan, number 11 kayo. Or 12.
Ay, makinig ko kayo sa podcast para masiguraduhin kung totoo yung sinasabi ni Butch na nandun kayo sa 11, 12, or 13.
Sa number 10, I'd put si Lou Veloso. Well, hindi ko naman, na-meet ko lang yan once, and twice. Pag may urian lang. Konsehal yan, I think ang pinakamalaking project niya, yung pinarenovate yung clock tower ng Manila City Hall na nung araw na iba-iba oras. Yung mga ambag niya sa community theater and the arts, yun. Kaya parang wala ka naman masyadong narinig na anything. So,
ako, I'm in no position to comment for or no because the thing is kasi with a lot of the politicians also, it depends kung saan ka nakatira eh.
Yeah.
So there would be some that you would hear more of. There are others like, ang Maynila, halos wala naman ako napapakinig tungkol sa Maynila.
Because hindi ka naman nagpupunta doon.
Hindi, kahit na. Hindi naman ako kasi taga Maynila eh.
Number 9, controversial to Alma Moreno. So, in-interview siya ni Karen Davila when she tried to run for the Senate. Failed interview yun. Kasi di ba naipit siya. Pero, ang kagandahan, she was honest enough to admit na hindi niya alam yung ibang issues. But she was willing to learn.
Well, that's something I actually admire about Alma. I've seen a few of her interviews and she never came across as somebody pretending to know something that she didn't. And she would admit it, which I think is a refreshing attitude or behavior.
For a politician.
For a politician. Oh.
Yeah. Yung kanyang, ako, ang pinaka-admirable sa kanya, yung alam mo yung nangungulekta siya ng kabaong.
Paano pakinig ko yun? Pero hindi ko alam yung buong kwento. Pero ano pakinig ko yun?
So, let's say, kasi di ba, minsan binuburol pagkatapos kinekremate. So, kumbaga, tapo na yung kabaong. So, hinihingi niya yun para bang, di ba, for somebody, something so morbid. Parang gagawin yun. Tapos, ang pakiusap lang niya, Leo, yung kasi, wala na siya mapagtaguan ng mga used coffins, pwede rin patago sa bahay niyo. Malaki daw yung bahay nyo kasi pwedeng gawing...
Alam mo kung saan siya bagay, Butch, sa bahay mo eh. Kasi pag nakita ng mga tao yung bahay mo, talagang maraming pwedeng paglagyan ng kabaong doon eh.
Wala. Maski, bahay kubo lang ang tinitiran ko.
Hindi ha, hindi.
At number 8, Edu Manzano.
Para magkaiba yung listahan natin. Para magkaiba kasi pagkakilala natin sa kanila. Magkaiba yung listahan.
Hindi ko masyadong nabantayan yung duration ng kanyang term sa Makati. Kasi, alam mo ba when I left Showbiz Linggo in 1998, he took over, siya ang pumalit sa akin as host ng Showbiz Linggo. So, tapos, and then he had to leave, unfortunately. Pero, ang narinig ko, parang nung bumalik ako, parang naging whistleblower pa siya. Tapos, parang hindi naman niya pinursu. Siguro na-realize niya na mas masarap ang buhay niya at mas kikita siya. So, entertainment.
Tama naman.
So,
kasi sa totoo naman kung iisipin mo, ang politiko naman, based sa nakalista na sweldo nila, kung iisipin mo, hindi naman malaki sweldo ng politiko eh.
oo.
Yung sa yung above board ha.
Kaya
yung nasa
Siyempre, may mga ira-ira yan. Siyempre, may mga pork barrel yan.
Correct.
Okay. Number 7, si Christopher De Venecia. Kilala ko kasi yung pamilya. Well, I cannot speak for the De Venecia side because hindi ko naman si Manong Joe, hindi ko naman talaga nakasama ng matagal. Pero yung Vera Perez is up to here with integrity. So, yun, self-explanatory na yun.
And then, tsaka ako I appreciate what Toffee's been doing, lalo na with the arts. He has been instrumental in pushing a lot of bills also that would help the arts. Kasi, aminin man natin at hindi, ang arts ay medyo nakaligtaan over the last 30 years. Naging na-deprioritize siya eh. So, ngayon lang ulit, nagbubunga yung papursigi ng mga tao na teka naman, bigyan rin natin ng tamang atensyon ang arts. Kasi importante rin naman yan sa ating kultura, sa ating identity, sa ating pagka-Pilipino.
Correct. At number 6, ito, matagal na siya nag-retire from politics.
Alam mo, ang bilis natin ito. Parang feeling ko eh. Itong episode na to in 15 minutes tapos.
Kasi, mag-politics.
Alam mo, ang feeling ko,
Guns, Goons, and Gold.
Ang feeling ko si Butch Francisco natatakot mag-comment eh.
Hintayin ko yung mo. I mean, ba't ako magko-comment dito ng negative? Choice ko nga ito.
Oo na.
Maghintay ka mamaya.
Bakit bubol-jackin mo yung aking
Depende.
listahan?
Hindi ko alam.
Sige,
Depende.
okay.
If I disagree.
Okay.
Si Connie Angeles, syempre, started as a child star. Siya yung kapatid ni Trudy Siliit na si Vilma Santos. Siya si Oreng. Siya yung nilapa ng German Shepherd. Naalala mo yung movie nung bata siya?
Hindi na. Parang
talagang
fading memory na yan sa
nilapa siya. Doon sa movie lang naman.
Oo naman. Alam ka naman sa totoong buhay. Ikaw naman talaga.
Naging konsehalo siya ng Quezon City.
Okay.
Tapos naging vice mayor. Well, prepared naman siya sa politics. Kasi nagkaroon siya ng kapwa ko, mahal ko. Diba? Pagkatapos nung artista mo siya, wala siya scandal. Naalala mo yung Maysan. Siya yung...
Diyos ko naman sa itsura naman ni Connie Angeles, wala naman sa itsura niya magkakaskandalo.
Ikaw
pa siguro, pero
Ay, marami yan. Anyway, hindi. Tapos after that, hindi na siya nakipagbardagulan para maging mayor. Tapos, ngayon, nandun siya sa SM Foundation. So, tumutulong pa rin siya.
Because I think, for a lot of them, also, kawang-gawa or helping others is intrinsic to their personality. And sometimes being a politician is a way to get that through. Then after that, you align yourself with NGOs or you align yourself with foundations and you're still able to do the help that you want.
Number 5. Si Angelo De Leon. Ito pina-research ko to sa Pasig, ha? So yan, pina-research ko si Angelo De Leon. Okay naman daw.
Wala pa tayong pinagpapareho sa listahan.
Nagpa-survey ako sa Pasig, ha? Nagpa-survey ako. Sabi nila, she's okay.
Ang laki na sweldo mo sa show na to, nakakapagpa-survey ka pa, ha?
Sigurado mas malaki sweldo mo. Congratulations, Konsehala Angelo De Leon. At number
4.
4, si Risa Ontiveros. Ano yan? Artista, ano yan? Nag-host yan. Tapos nag-stage yan sa repertory.
Okay.
Ang kagandahan sa kanya, maganda lagi yung meron nakapwesto sa Senado na oposisyon.
Tama na. Oh, you know, I met her just about a week ago. And I really had to go to her and say that, sabi ko, Ma'am, you don't know me, but I just want to say...
Humihi ka sa kanya pork barrel?
Hindi.
Ano?
Sabi ko, Ma'am, you don't know me, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for voicing our concerns and our opinions and fighting for what is right in the Senate.
Hindi at wala siya sa listahan mo.
Ay, hindi kasi ang sinabi mo celebrities, hindi naman siya... Wala siya. Sabi ko nga, hindi nga pareho listahan natin eh. I didn't... Only because... To my mind, I did not consider her as a celebrity unlike the others in my list.
Oh, hindi ko rin celebrity.
Hindi kasi sa pagkakilala ko kay Senate, kasi buti pa yung sister niya. Kilala ko kasi
Ontiveros performing clan yan. Kung yun political dynasty.
Baka nasa probinsya pa ako nakatira noon kaya hindi ko alam. Kaya ano.
Nung nag-Sound of Music, hindi mo alam na isa siya sa mga children na Von Trapp?
Hindi.
Okay. Anyway.
Ay, alam mo naman, Butch, mas malawak naman ang exposure mo sa showbiz kesa sa akin. Kaya...
Hindi nga ako lumalabas ang bahay eh. Number 3, si Grace Poe.
Hindi naman nag-artista si... Well,
excuse me.
Excuse me.
She was the young like this, she was the young like that sa mga pelikula ni FPJ.
The only reason that Senator Risa and Senator Grace are not in my list, or even si Tov, because I knew them more as politicians. I did not know them. Mas kilala mo yung pag-artista nila. Ako hindi.
Actually, lagi nga siya tinatanong kung gusto niyang ginusto niya mag-artista. Well, meron sana kaya lang mismo
parang napaka-safe ng mga choices. Parang ako ata ang mababatch ng
minsan,
episode na to.
Parang ang tatay niya mismo, ang parang hindi na lang sinabi sa kanya, pero naramdaman niya na wala siyang talent for acting. Kaya hindi na lang siya hindi na lang siya nag-pursue ng acting. But in fact, pero feeling ko talaga ayaw naman talaga niya mag-artista, and what she wanted was a normal life. And what did she do? She went to Boston to study para doon she can be herself.
Paano si Sharon, di ba? Nasa Boston nag-aaral si Kiko.
Hindi, yun naman, magkasabay kami noon eh. Nilaki ko nun sa Boston.
Uy, okay. O tingnan mo, bahay kubo nga sa Boston ka dyan. Ang alam ko lang Boston, yung dinidikit sa sapatos para pag naglalakad ka, napapakin mo.
Pero Leo, para naman ako makarating ng Boston, nagsagwan ako. So, anyway.
Alam mo, hindi naman believable yung iyong anong yan. Okay.
So,
ako sa bagay, kaya pala ganyan kalaki ang iyong muscles dahil sa pagsasagwan mo hanggang Boston. Okay.
Hindi barko. Bangka. May katig naman. Kaya siya napilitan lumaban din. Parang yung nangyari sa tatay niya.
Yeah, I agree.
Isipin mo yung kahit Pangasinan daw, mga ilang bayan sa Pangasinan na zero tatay niya. Hindi parang baluarte na nila yon.
Ako naman kasi minsan ang feeling ko, mandadaya na nga lang yung iba. Ay, lagyan nyo naman parang ilagyan nyo naman ng logic yung pandaraya nyo. Di ba? Parang matatalo sa baluarte. Isi-zero out nyo na never.
I liked her as the MTRCB chief.
Oh yeah. I thought she was very, very fair. She was objective. She was not as liberal as Tita Mids. But I thought Senator Grace was very objective, was very diplomatic when she needed to talk with people who had issues with the board.
As a matter of fact, there was a time na pinag-guess ako siya para may debate. Mag-guess ako dyan sa debate. Pero anong gusto nila, doon ako sa side na anti-SPG. Sabi ko, ba't ko kakalabanin? And I was for that.
Hindi. Alam mo kung bakit gano'n. Usually, pag matalino ka at maragaling ka magsalita, ilalagay ka nila doon sa side na kontra. Kasi doon lalabas yung Kasi why will they give you the easy role of answering the question?
But then the thing is, I was for yung panukala niya. Number 2 na ako. Vico Soto. Ito talaga, lahat ng kinausap kong taga-Pasig, sa Kapasigan, lahat ng lahat ng
Ako naman,
lugar ng...
Ako, I admire Vico Soto. In fact, every time that there's something good, I text Connie. Sabihin ko, I just wanted to say congratulations. Ang ganda talaga ng pagpapalaki mo sa anak mo. And I really hope he succeeds. And continues to do well and goes
he is
on a larger...
succeeding.
Hindi, and goes to a larger national stage.
Yeah.
Kasi, yan, alam mo ang isang observation ko, I mean, people may be criticizing those that are at the national level, but at least you're seeing improvement already on the local, in some of the cities. There are really mayors that you can be proud of na now. Hindi katulad ng dati na pupulaan mo lang ng pupulaan. Katulad ako, I am so proud to be from Marikina at proud na proud ako sa aming mayor na si Mayor Marcy Teodoro.
Okay. Actually, di ba nung pandemic, di ba nagna-number 1 siya na pagka sinabing the best mayor?
Hindi. Oo, tsaka katulad sa Marikina. Ang pet peeve ko dyan, ang maraming lugar na pag halimbawa may project ang mayor, pangalan nila yung nakadikit. Na parang feeling
sa
ko...
Marikina, Leo Picatigbak ang nakalagay.
Ang nakalagay doon, a project of the city of Marikina. He has never taken credit for a lot of the things that he was the one pushing naman. Kaya ako, I am a proud taxpayer of Marikina. Kaya ako, masayang-masaya.
Actually, mababa nga tax nyo eh.
Tumaas na rin
compared to us.
No, pero ibig ko sabihin, in terms of pag halimbawa ang sasabihin ng Marikina na kailangan may gawing ganito. Ako, I gladly comply with everything. Kasi ang Marikina, napakaganda ng
pagpapatakbo. But we all
pagpapatakbo.
comply. Kasi,
ang operative word, gladly. Kasi yung iba, begrudgingly. Ako sa Marikina, I gladly comply because I respect our mayor so much. And I respect...
naman, aminin ninyo naman, ibang city hall dyan, ikaw na nga magbabayad, ikaw papahihirapan, di ba? Pero sa Marikina, maayos magbabayad.
Sobra. Ano siya, mabilis, efficient.
Where I come from, utang na loob mo pa yung magbayad. Okay.
Saan ka nga galing? Saan ka nakatira?
Sa munting bahay. Sa isang munting bahay.
Sige. Okay.
Sa sobrang liit, hindi mo mahahanap. Number 1 ko, Vilma Santos. She may not be in a position right now, but ang track record, siya yung tabi-tabi na lang sa lahat ng mga artistang nagpolitiko. Pero kumbaga, siya yung face ng isang celebrity na nag-artista na hindi nadungisan. Kung meron naman siguro mga pwedeng invento, nadamay, or let's say, ito ang pinaka humanga ako sa kanya, yung command responsibility. Naalala mo yung sa Batangas sign na ilalagay sa sa Taal Volcano? Naalala mo yun?
Ayun, hindi masyado.
Okay. Nasa Tagaytay Ridge. So, tapos, di ba nandun yung bulkan? Pero ito yung hindi pumuputok. Ito yung binintiang...
Okay.
Ito yung binintiang malaki yata yun. Ha? Bakit?
Bulkan na hindi pumuputok.
No, kasi, tandaan mo, ang Taal, maraming maraming bulkan yan. It's a cluster of volcanoes eh. So, ito ang alam ko, yung pinapakita lagi sa postcard nung araw, yung malaki na pinakamaganda view sa Tagaytay. I think hindi siya active. I may be wrong, no? Hindi mo ako volcanologist. Sa likod yung
hindi, pero pag umusok na siya, lahat na sila yan.
Hindi siya umuusok talaga. Parang naging dormant na siya. Tapos pinalalagyan doon ng Batangas. Kasi nga naman, ang nakikinaban Tagaytay. Pero pag let's say pumutok ang Taal, the one who does the cleaning up is Batangas.
Tama.
So parang i-claim nila, parang Hollywood na. Bis na Hollywood, Batangas. So, di ba ang daming memes na lumabas na si Dara lumilipad doon sa Taal Lake na ganon. Hindi sa kanyang idea yun, pero inako niyang kanya. Pero, in spite of that, hindi pa rin nadungisan ang pangalan niya. Oo. Kaya, siya ang number 1 ko. Let me see how I will react to your
feeling
list.
ko pa lang sa mga alam kong vehement na magiging reaction. Okay. My number 10 is somebody that I've known for some time and I'm hoping that he will do a good job. I don't know, Arjo Atayde.
Okay.
Arjo started, I think his heart is in the right place. When I would talk to him, you know that sincere sa kanya yung gusto niyang makatulong. And he's a smart person. He's also very, very hardworking. He just started his career and I hope it's something that goes a long way. And sana doon sa pagkakilala ko sa kanya, masustain yun at mas marami pa siyang
Hindi
matulungan.
ko siya in-include kasi napakabago.
ang sa akin kasi naman, yung, ang pinanggagalingan ko dyan, kilala ko siya, tsaka we had conversations na even before.
Hi, I'm Red Oliero.
Hi, I'm Andrew Bernardo.
And we are the Bago Matulog with Red Oliero podcast
members.
Yes, we are promoting our podcast and sana makinig kayo sa podcast namin. Yun lang. Thank
Please.
you. Yay. Please, we need money.
Ang number 9 ko is another person that I know very well, si Jong Hilario.
Okay.
I mean, aside from being such a good guy, di ba he's a 3-term counselor sa Makati. Pagkatapos matalino, wala ka rin namang napakinig na masama na nadikit sa kanya. At ang gusto ko lang kay Jong, ano yan akala mo tatawa-tawa lang, pero magna cum laude yan.
Okay.
So, to me, I also like the idea of having smart people in government. Kasi parang
Smart but humble.
yeah, smart but humble. With their heart in the right place, and you can only hope that the infrastructure is there to support the good that they want to do. Kasi sometimes, sabi mo nga kanina, pwedeng may tamang wisyo yung mayor, pero yung mga underling, ito rin kasi naman yung nangyayari. Di ba ang mayor pinapalitan, ang vice mayor pinapalitan, o ano, yung mga binoboto mo.
Ibang staff, career yan di ba?
Correct. So, pwedeng yung matino yung mga binoto nyo, pero yung mga nagpapalakad na carries over from administration to administration, sila rin naman yung may bad habits.
In fact, meron isang mayor na nakausap ako. Sabi nga niya, nagpupupok na sa mesa niya. Kaya lang sabi niya, I'm sorry, mawawala ako dito, pero yung mga tao nasa ilalim ko, nandyan pa din.
My number 8, Vico Soto. And I think it's for the reasons that you already mentioned. Kaya lang, I probably would have ranked him higher. Kaya lang, I still consider him relatively new So I still want to see more. And then I actually want to see him in a larger stage
For somebody nga so new, ang laki ng pagbabago na nagawa niya.
Correct. And ano siya, parang kumbaga, in fact, somebody like him, can you imagine if down the line he becomes a senator or even the president? Parang siya yung gusto mong sabihin na gusto ko yung presidente niya. Gusto ko yung presidente na. Parang you're proud to have him in that elite group. Kesa naman...
Nalungkot naman ako.
Bakit?
Kasi pag nagpresidente siya, baka wala na ako sa mundo.
Bakit
Kasi,
naman?
Siyempre marami pang dadaan ng ano yan.
No, I think
ang posisyon yan.
No, but I think we are already at an age also where there's a lot of new blood that we need. Ang number 7 ko, I think, will be controversial.
Oh, yes.
I've known Lauren since the 1980s and I know that there have been a lot of things that have been said about her. But let me focus lang on the things that she's worked on. No? I like the fact that she's a solar advocate, she's an environmental advocate, and also the fact that she's been pushing Filipino culture a lot. In fact, diba, if you go to Intramuros, there's a museum there that nabuo siya largely because of the efforts of Lauren Legarda. And it showcases a lot of indigenous art or skills na sa totoo lang namamatay na yung mga may alam na gawin siya. But somehow she's still trying to bring it to the consciousness. On the other stuff that's being said about her, as far as I'm concerned naman, I have no first-hand experience with that.
She pushes for Filipiniana.
Oo. I think this is the time that
Tapos nagpapadala ng regalo yan, saplings.
Oo. Tapos if you talk to like the foreign embassies and whatever, maganda rin naman ang comment. Parang nagkakameron ng mas Filipino character yung mga embassy natin abroad. And a lot of it is also with their linkages with Lauren. So yung sa akin, ako I on the stuff that's negative that's being hurled against her, I have no first-hand experience. So it's unfair for me to comment on that. But on the stuff that I know that she's been advocating, I really admire her for that. Whether it's culture and it's the environment, because those are really touch points at this point at this time. Ang number 6 ko is probably another Joseph Estrada. Joseph Estrada, a lot of people may have commented on his work habits when he was president. But when I was much younger and I would hear how he would run San Juan and the progress of San Juan at that time.
Oh,
that,
yes. Oo, yun naman. Oo, kasi San Juan naman.
that's why people were
Okay.
hopeful that when he would become president, he would be able to replicate something like that on a national scale. I didn't vote for him as president, but my feeling was also, malaki yung nagawa na hindi nabuksan yung envelope. Because that will always be a question mark on the issues of that day. And the other thing also is, I remember Erap was being criticized already as president because of his work habits, that he would work late and whatever. But I also remember a lot of the comments, people were saying that that's why the economy, despite coming from the Asian economic crisis, was also improving. And remember, nagaling rin to do sa power crisis na ang nagsolve naman si FVR. Ang sinasabi nila, Erap may not have been the perfect person on a national level, but he was hiring good people in the finance sector, in the other sectors. So to me, I think it's also important that if you think that you cannot do the job, then you get people who can actually do the job. There's nothing wrong naman with that.
Basta, naalala ko, noong 1973, mayor siya. Walang Wata-Wata Festival. Hindi, bawal lang basaan nun. Noong 1973, June 24, bawal. Yeah.
Kasi naman yung sa San Juan, ang tawag naman doon, tagbuling-buling eh.
Baka naman sa San Juan, Batangas yan.
Hindi, pero kahit dito na kami sa Maynila noon eh. Pag napunta ka ng San Juan at nagbasaan.
Wala nang dilaan.
Oo, parang well.
No, yun naman kasi, to be fair naman, nung San Juan mayor siya yung tipo nagpapatrol sa gabi. Tapos ay yung people, parang all the cops who are supposed to be manning the city, talagang binabatehan niya. So, it was very, very effective as San Juan mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At saka yun talaga, ang San Juan kasi parang at that time parang it was one of those less regarded compared to say Quezon City, Makati.
Maliit kasi ang San Juan.
Correct.
Lang.
Pero nakilala ang San Juan nung siya ang mayor noon. Kasi parang naging poster boy ang naging poster city ang San Juan na parang how do you want to be progressive vis-a-vis ang Manila, ang Makati.
Ang San Juan kasi niya nahati. Well, okay. To begin with, ang San Juan, alam mo ba ang San Juan nung araw? Hanggang GMA yan. Ganun kalawak ang kanyang area. Kaya lang kasi nung ginawa ang Quezon City, nakuha ng Quezon City yung that part of San Juan. Dapat nga ako, San Juan resident ako eh.
Ngayon sa resident ka saan?
Hindi, dati ako sa San Juan resident nung araw. Kasi tumira ako sa... magkapit bahay kami nung araw.
Okay.
Ayun.
My number 5 is going to be another controversial choice. Tito Soto, I know a lot of people don't agree with some of the things that he has said, but I've known him for a long. I don't know him personally, but I know a lot of the people who have worked with him. So minsan yun yung mga napapag-usapan namin. Pagkatapos ang isa sa mga nare-realize ko, he does have a layman's way of approaching certain issues and certain topics. And it's a very, very common sense approach. Na for some people, they will look at him in a condescending way. But to me, if you listen to him, that's how an ordinary person would think eh. That's the way an ordinary person would talk eh. 'Di ba? Ang pinaka-hate ko pa naman yung mga tao na lagi nagsasalita na parang kaya ako I never use it eh. Yung sasabihin nila na alam mo ang masa ganyan ng Parang sabi ko, isn't that a condescending way of looking at your fellow Filipinos as if they're beneath you and you are superior to them? So to me, I always felt that a lot of his arguments, whether popular or unpopular, were still sentiments of the regular Filipino, more than the high society Filipino or the ones who are educated and who claim to be superior to everybody else. Kaya sabi ko it's going to be a controversial choice eh. Ako, I voted for him. Because there are things naman that he did that I agree with. There are also things that he said or he pushed that I disagree with. But gano'n naman eh. Wala ka namang mahahanap na politiko na you will agree with everything that they did eh. My number 4, Isko Moreno. Isko, towards the end, I think he did a lot of miscalculation with political choices. But when he was running Manila, he was admirable. I think he took on a lot of issues head on. As mayor of Manila, I liked a lot of the stuff that he did. when he went on the national stage, that's actually when I disagreed with a lot of what he did. My comments about him as a politician really is centers on his run as a mayor, not on his run as a presidential candidate, aspirant.
Yeah.
Ang punto ko naman, hindi naman siya nabotong presidente. So how can I judge him on something that he ran for? But as mayor of Manila, he had shown that he had the balls, he had the sureness of self and the aggressiveness to push things. Number 3, Richard Gomez. Now, si Goma, I've known him for a very, very long time. But I remember when I went to Leyte, and I've gone to Leyte twice already, I was surprised at how well regarded he was. And in fact, when I was at the Visayas State University, and I was curious, sabi ko, ano ba ginagawa ni Goma sa Ormoc? When he was... Everything that I heard was very, very positive. And I think at that time kasi, si Lucy tsaka si Juliana, they were in Congress eh. Lucy was in Congress, so they were in Manila. So they would always say that si Goma was the first person to City Hall. Maybe there's an exaggeration there, but he would be there early and he would be one of the last to go out. He was always there whenever there was something that needed to be done. Tapos may running joke pa nga na si Goma, nakasuot as mayor, suot-suot niya yung pagkalaki-laki niyang ID. Pagkatapos ang sinasabi nila, Mayor, bakit kailangan mo pa iso? Kilala ka naman ng lahat ng tao. Pero ang sabi niya, pag hindi ko ginawa, paano ko mapipilit na mapapasunod lahat ng ibang tao? And then there were other things.
Di ba sa ABS-CBN, lahat dapat naka-ID?
Anyway.
Hindi ka invited sa wedding.
Hindi ko naman sinabing best friends kami.
Okay.
But I really have to give him credit that he took his run as a mayor very, very seriously. Pagkatapos sinasabi nila, pag halimbawa nga may mga emergencies and whatever, Goma was always at the center of everything, managing. Bumabagyo, nasa City Hall, tapos yung halimbawa magpapadala ng tulong, magpapadala ng mga ambulansya, and everything. Pagkatapos, sabi ko, how were the expenses of the city? Because Goma was still doing some endorsements and whatnot. Now, ito mga kwento lang rin sa akin. And these are people who tended to be neutral. Sabi nila, alam mo yung iba, ang alam nila, hindi daw nagpapabayad si Goma. Pero ang sasabihin niya, if you really want to help, uniforme ng mga estudyante o uniforme ng police or whatever, or something that would help. So to me, that's an admirable trait. I mean, he could easily just have made the money for himself. But if he's using that kind of celebrity status to help his constituents or to help the people around, or to help even the city of Ormoc. Kaya di ba ang Ormoc may airport na rin ngayon. Siya rin na nag-push niyan. Although hindi nga lang nagagamit kasi hindi ata mabigyan ng flights. But they also have a stadium. So there were a lot of things that he was pushing for that made Ormoc much more progressive than it would have been.
So I'm looking forward to an Ormoc Pacific.
Number 2 is probably going to be controversial. Herbert. Again, there are things that are being said about Herbert, but I don't know. I never encountered that. Ang alam ko, yung sa Kabataang Barangay nung nag-umpisa, alam mong nasa wisyo na niya ang pagtulong sa tao, ang mga gusto niyang gawin. And he tried to do that when he was vice mayor and he became mayor, all of those things. Alam kong marami ring bumabati ko sa kanya. When you're already at that level, wala ka namang gagawing except for Vico, wala rin naman talagang mayor ngayon na hindi na napupuna. Well, si Mayor Marcy hindi rin napupuna. There are allegations against him. But again, as I said, I don't know. I hear about it in the same way that I hear about so much gossip from people na nagmamarites. And you take it with a grain of salt unless there's really proof that comes out. Number 1 ko, walang si Ate V. Now, si Ate V, when I remember before, a cousin of mine used to work dun sa toll, yung sa Star Toll, yung sa exit na Star Toll. So, one time pag labas ko ng Star Toll, papuntang Banay-Banay, nakita ko siya, sabi ko, dito ka ba nagtatrabaho? So,
Si Ate V?
Hindi, yung pinsan ko.
Okay.
Tapos nakapagkwentuhan pa kami. Tapos yung mga kamag-anak ko na nakastay sa Lipa, tinatanong ko rin sila. And generally, tapos kasi may mga nakapagtrabaho sa City Hall eh. Lahat sila favorable lang sinasabi. Parang si Ate V was very approachable. Parang maybe not literally, but an open door policy na if anybody had issues and whatnot, you could bring it to her immediately. She goes out of her way to address and to talk to people. So she was very, very well loved. minsan may mga sit-sit ka mapapakinig, pero ang bilis rin i-dismiss nun eh. Kasi it was more overwhelming.
Kasi nga sit-sit lang.
At saka, it was more overwhelming in favor of Ate V na parang, kumbaga, di hamak na mas malaki yung nagagawa niya doon sa kanyang pagiging public official for Lipa, for Batangas, representing the region in Congress. Ano siya, parang her heart is in the right place. She really wanted to help. And she was fortunate enough maybe that Ralph was the perfect mentor for her also. Because definitely makikita mo rin yung yung pag-mature ni Ate V as a politician eh. And I would think that it was Senator Ralph that helped her with that also. But at the core of it is maganda ang puso ni Ate V. Gusto niya talagang makatulong sa mga taong bumoto sa kanya at naniniwala sa kanya. And it's one of those things na kung halimbawa si Ate V comes from a political dynasty down the line, kung lahat ng magiging anak, apo niya at mga susunod pa, magiging kasi ugali
parang
niya.
wala naman niya may gusto
Hindi,
yata.
ang sinasabi ko lang is, kung ang political dynasty lalabas na ganun ka-dedicated yung mga succeeding generations, I will not really have issues with it. I have issues with the corruption of the others.
I'm sure natutuwa si Valeriano Malabanan. Kilala mo siya?
Wag mo ko ipop quiz ngayon.
Hindi, tagali pa yun.
Oh, I left Lipa at age 9.
Oo,
Ano
pero is one of the eminent Filipinos na pari siya na ang tapang-tapang niya. Dapat nga nagpolitiko siya. Kaya lang panahon pa na Kastila. Tapos nagpagawa
alam mo,
siya
di pa ako pinapanganak nun, ha?
Siguro naman kahit naman ako, kahit naman nanay ko, kahit lola ko. Diba?
Ikaw kasi marami kang kakilala na matagal ng patay.
Ano ako nagpapaseance? Nagpapaspirit of the glass?
Malay ko. Pero I'm very, very happy that we both had the same number. Actually, if we probably do this episode again maybe a year from now, assuming that we're still on the air, I think Vico...
Assuming na hindi pa ako na-assassinate?
Definitely Vico would be going up that list.
Okay.
So, yun yung list ko. Okay.
And with that,
with that, kukwentuhan na lang ako ni Noela at saka ni Christine kung sino yung mga mamimintas sa akin sa message board kasi ikaw napaka-safe ng choices mo. Yung
safe
akin,
hindi
generally safe yung choices mo compared to mine. Mine are more controversial. Kahit nga ikaw bigla ka napapalinis o bigla ka napapatingin.
Hindi kasi
alam mo hindi yan langit ha, ilaw yan pero tinitingala mo yan pag hindi mo gusto yung sinasabi ko.
Tinitingala ko nga yung mga choices mo.
Sige.
Ayaw mo di ba? Parang sinasamba ko kayo.
Diba?
So ayun. At sa aming syempre
at dyan bago lumala at kumuha na ho ng mga bodyguard si Butch Francisco dahil sa kanyang choice, ito po si Leo Katigbak.
At si Butch Francisco na nagtatago na.
Opo. At saka pakiantay lang ho dun sa podcast. Tingnan nyo ho, yung mga wala ho sa listahan.
Yung
tingnan
podcast, yung bonus round. Asa pa kayo? Sige. Ito nga, hirap na ako dito eh. Anyway, salamat. Ako po si Butch Francisco.
At ako po si Leo.
For another edition of Best 10 Bets.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.